everybody. It's a great day today. I'm Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. I have been in Congress 17 years, but I actually inherited this issue. So many of you are veterans of this project for longer than I have been in the Congress. I remember celebrating my 60th birthday filling sandbags, and I'm sure many of you have experienced that as well. And we know that the Des Plaines River, even though there's 100-year floods and 500-year floods, that for many businesses and homeowners, it's actually more like pretty much every year or every other year. And so it is really exciting to be here with Senator Durbin and so many others. And I'm going to list a few, and other people will introduce some of the other folks that have been involved in this project. I wanted to acknowledge Wheeling Village President Dean Argyris is here, and also a couple of his village trustees, as well as his village manager. Is State Senator Elaine Nekritz here? No. We have State Senator Dan Kotowski, who is here. We have staff with State Representative Marty Moylan, and State Senator Julie Morrison is here. Rob Johnson from Senator Mark Kirk's office is here, and Arnold Randall, Cook County Forest Preserve District General Superintendent, is here as well. And others will be introduced as we go along. And so this is going to mean that many of our residents and our businesses are finally going to see some great relief from this new levee, and we are excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Dan Schakowsky, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dick Durbin, and back in the time when we had something called earmarks, I used to earmark this project because I'd come here regularly every spring and see the flooding and the damage and what people went through. I don't know how many times I've been right here looking at this flooded road and wondering about these poor folks across the street and what was happening to their homes. But we've seen a culmination of our effort now in the completion of this levee. The $37 million investment that was made is primarily federal, but could never have happened without the hard work of the Army Corps of Engineers, represented by Colonel Levee, who will say a few things in a moment, as well as the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, and of course the Metropolitan Water and Reclamation District. This was a joint effort, a common effort by all of us to deal with a real challenge. This is an issue which in this area we face with regularity. Heavy storms, overwhelming the ordinary course of sewers and storm sewers, creating problems that are dramatic, that are played out all around the region. So any single piece of this ends up being part of the whole contribution, the whole challenge that we face. I'm glad we made this investment, not just for the hundreds of homeowners and others who are going to be spared the inconvenience we've seen in the past, but I hope it's part of a long-term commitment to the quality of the water in the rivers in this region, quality of the waters that will be served incidentally, as Marianne will tell us shortly, when the Metropolitan Water and Reclamation District makes a major change in water quality policy, starting now but culminating next year when it comes to disinfection. All of these things are part of the same challenge. As you can tell from the list read by Congresswoman Schakowsky, welcome Representative Elaine Nekritz. As you can tell by the list that was read, this is a bipartisan effort that has been carried out at a local, state, and federal level. It is my honor to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Lovell with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Colonel?
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and it's super to be out here with some great Army weather, because if it's not raining, we're not training, but if it's super hot, we certainly are. It's my honor to represent the entire district of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, Chicago District, here today. Sir, thank you very much for bringing the money back home, because that gives us the opportunity to execute our responsibility as the nation's engineers, to help design, engineer, and construct elements that are going to improve the quality of life through our flood risk management program. Overall, with the cost sharing between our federal government and our local and non-federal sponsors, we're able to mitigate approximately $3 million in damages that could have happened if we wouldn't have executed any projects here. It's going to directly impact the quality of life of the folks that the senator and the congressman talked about right behind us. It's over 500 homeowners and family members, as well as 6,000 business owners and family members up and down the entire series of projects. We couldn't have done this without a team. We've already heard that this was a team effort between federal, state, and regional members. I'd like to highlight a few of those. Between the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, IDOT, IDNR, Prospect Heights, and the village of Mount Prospect, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration. We couldn't have done this without everyone's help, as well as everyone's hands on the shovel. Thank you very much, and I'll be followed by Dan Inyard from IDNR.
Dan Inyard from Illinois Department of Natural Resources.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you. And it's very hot, so I will be very quick. I'm closing in on a little over 38 years of state service. One of the things that I've heard consistently throughout my career has been flooding along the Des Plaines River and the increasing difficulty it is to move ahead with a major public works project. So today, the Department of Natural Resources has been pleased to be the non-federal sponsor for this entire Des Plaines Phase 1 study effort. I think we have about $16 million invested. We believe it's a very good investment. Will pay dividends for many years to come. And while I'm a relatively new director, I've been watching for years all of the hard work that has gone in. And what has really made this project move forward is the cooperation that we've seen between the federal government, state government, county government, the local government. It has just been absolutely critical to get this project to where it is today. And you're going to hear very soon about a very critical element from the Water Reclamation District that really helped get this project to where it is today. So again, on behalf of Governor Rauner and Director Rosenthal, we're certainly happy to be here and celebrate with you all. Thank you.
Mary Ann Sparopoulos is the president of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. I ask her to come on up and introduce her commissioners who've joined her.
Thank you, Senator, and good morning, everyone. Happy to be here on this great project. I'm Mary Ann Sparopoulos, President of the Board of Commissioners at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. And with me today are my fellow commissioners, Vice President Barb McGowan, Chairman of Finance Frank Avila, Commissioner Mike Alvarez, Commissioner Tim Bradford, Commissioner Cynthia Santos, Commissioner Deborah Shore, and Commissioner Carrie Steele. The district's role in the Levee 37 project was to provide compensatory floodplain storage to ensure negative impacts were not experienced in downstream communities along the Des Plaines River. The Heritage Park Flood Control Facility was the district's first major stormwater construction project since we were granted Stormwater Management Authority by the Illinois General Assembly in 2004. The district constructed the Heritage Park Flood Control Facility project in Wheeling and Buffalo Creek, which discharges into the Des Plaines River upstream of the levee. In addition to providing compensatory storage through excavation of new stormwater storage areas along the Buffalo Creek with a capacity of 49 million gallons, the Heritage Park site includes an expanded detention pond and new recreation facilities. Our partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers, IDNR, the villages of Wheeling, Mount Prospect, and Prospect Heights in the Wheeling Park District to develop the Heritage Park projects ensures the benefits of Levee 37 and that these can be realized. Thank you again for all of your work. Thank you to all the partners for making this happen. Thank you to Senator Durbin for making sure that that funding comes through. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Mayor Mick Helmer, City of Prospect Heights.
You know, yesterday afternoon, I drove to the levee, and I found that the levee was dry. I said, wow. But the fact is it has a lot of water going down, and the people right here are the dry people. And I said to the people, we're not going to eliminate all the flooding with this levee, but we'll put our boots, our hip boots, and our gloves, and our sandbags in storage for now. This is a great, great thing that has happened to our city in conjunction with Mount Prospect, in conjunction with Wheeling. When you think about 50 million gallons of detention area stored in Wheeling thanks to their park district, that's amazing. That's an amazing number. So we're really pleased that we've had this help from the Senator's office, from the Congresswoman's office, from our state rep, Elaine Nekritz. They did their job well. And I've got to thank just a couple of people. Steve Skeever, where are you? Stand up, please. He was a big help in keeping this thing going. And I told our newest members of the City Council that we will not be purchasing hip boots for them because the sandbagging thing could be over. I'll save mine, but it could be over. So Larry Rosenthal is here from Rob Roy District. Who else have we got? Where'd you go? Whitney Morgan, our city clerk, and probably a few other people that should get thank yous. But most of all, Senator, thank you. Congresswoman Schakowsky, thank you. Elaine Nekritz, you've been at the front of everything to help us in Prospect Heights. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here today.
Senator Jarris, come on up here, say a few words for Wheeling.
Thank you. Senator, Congresswoman, Representative, thank you. In the audience this evening, I have my village manager, John Spondillas, our assistant village manager, Mike Crotty, one of my trustees, Ray Lang, my police chief, Bill Benson, and our public works director / community development director when this project started, Mark Janik. I want to thank the partnerships that we created here through this process. It seems like yesterday we were here doing the groundbreaking ceremony, but it gave the village of Wheeling the opportunity to work closer with our park district, work closer with our neighbors in Prospect Heights and Mount Prospect, and create that synergy. There's another Greek up here, Sparopoulos, like Argyris. We're used to wonders of the world, and I ask that you go to Heritage Park to see one of the wonders of the world in the state of Illinois. That project is phenomenal, and to see how all the agencies got together to make that happen is a testament to putting good minds together, getting people together to work together, you can get something done. So again, I thank all the agencies and all our partners here. Have a good evening.
Mayor Arlene Jurasek, Village of Mount Prospect.
Thank you, Senator. Well, I usually like to measure my longevity by if I've been to the groundbreaking and the ribbon cutting, and in a project that took this long, I'm proud to say I've been here for both of those events, but nobody has been involved with this project in Mount Prospect longer than retired Mayor Skip Farley, and I'd like to acknowledge him in the audience. In the 90s, Skip was here sandbagging and trying to figure out with the Army Corps and all of our other partners what we can do to fix this particular situation here. So without Skip's persistence, this never would have happened, nor without the support of the Mount Prospect Village Board over 3 administrations. And representing them today is Trustee Mike Zadell, Trustee Richard Rogers, and Trustee Stephen Pollack. So thank you for all of your effort, and certainly thank you to all the other public officials that have been mentioned here. I think over the course of this project, we've all learned a whole lot more about local watershed management and hydrology than we ever thought we would learn. I'd like to thank in particular our Public Works Director, Sean Dorsey, who's back there, and his crew. We have Jason Lieb, the Deputy Director, and our Village Engineer, Jeff Wolbecker, very critical to the process, and our Acting Village Manager, Dave Strahl. The Village Manager's Office was really instrumental in pushing all this through. But of course, as you've heard, this is a multi-community effort. So thanks to Prospect Heights, Mayor Helmer, and your whole team, and Dean Argyris. Without that compensatory storage up at Heritage Park, this never would have been completed. So thank you all for being here, and we're looking forward to continued working with the Army Corps. Captain Lovell, thank you. We know that there's more work to be done in this watershed, and we're delighted to have such a cooperative working arrangement with all the affected parties. Thank you, and let's cut that ribbon.
Thanks, Mayor. We have 2 more brief comments. I'm going to call up Senator Dan Kotowski, and to close the program, State Representative Elaine Nekritz, who I think we may be in your district. Darn close. Well, 2 of you come up and close the program.
Thank you. We tried to get the ribbon cut before I was speaking, but I'm just grateful to be here. It's wonderful to be a part of this project, and I congratulate the great work of Senator Durbin and Congresswoman Schakowsky and all the leaders. And I know Representative Nekritz has been working on this for a long, long time with all the local mayors. It's great to see the partnership. And it's wonderful that the state is now partnering with the federal government in addition to get federal loans for local municipalities to help with some more flood relief in case it happens in the future. So I'm just proud to be a part of this project. I think it's excellent to see the teamwork involved, but I'll see we're going to have more efforts in the future to make even more of a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. At the risk of being inappropriate, I'm going to use an analogy that may not really work, but you can see this project has a lot of parents up here. The gestational period has been forever. It's been 30 years since those floods in the mid-1980s, when I know that Skip Farley and then Representative Carolyn Krause were out rowing around on the streets of Mount Prospect. But this has been so worth it, and so I'm just so thrilled to be here today with all the elected officials and all the staff that worked so hard on this. The one person I would like to thank that's not here, who is now retired, is Arlen Jewell from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. Arlen taught me more about flooding along the Des Plaines River than I thought was possible to know, and I know that Arlen would be very proud if he were here today. So again, thanks to everybody for making this happen. This is really fabulous.
So now we are going to repair over here where, because of her sandbagging skills, handling the scissors will be Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. Watch this.